Good morning. It's 6:57 a.m. on Sunday, September 17th, 2017 in Sarasota, Florida. Waking to yet another night of humming generators throughout the neighborhood. I guess I just was going to say I want to share a little bit of one person's experience of, in this town, what ended up being a minor hurricane, but a hurricane nonetheless. My house has now been out of power for almost a full week, I think, as I wasn't here physically when all of this was building and heading our way. I was away at the World Championships for the 70.3 distance for Ironman at work in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Coming back after what has been the hardest work week of my time with Ironman, which is saying something since and I'm on the low end of the spectrum as a contractor, I work at least 70 hours most weeks with Ironman, at least 70, usually closer to 75 hours. And last week was 92 hours that I worked, and I actually, for my first time with Ironman, had to miss a complete day of work due to a huge thing taking place in my personal life emotionally that directly had to be dealt with. The care of my cats as a hurricane approached. The person entrusted to care for them, not only my significant other for almost 4 years, but claiming to do so only to help me rather than cause me more stress or cause me more, money when I have to pay somebody other than him, decided to make a very, very, very poor choice. A choice he keeps making while with me that disrupts my life in ways I can't. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, and the camel's back should have been broken probably years ago, not just months ago, years ago. But when the line was crossed over my little kitties under his care, one of them being diabetic and thus requiring an insulin shot 2 times, and this man, almost 40-year-old man, making the choice as pending disaster is set to hit us, which was already causing me unbelievable amounts of stress, misses 2 feedings, I think. He doesn't remember. And I had to quickly find somebody from the road to be able to handle these cats. And I thought I was going to die with how horrible and guilty and scared I was for them, and that they're in my care and I wasn't even going to be able to be there with them. And now an already sensitive cat and his sister, I just can't believe, any one of these things would have been enough to deal with. Any one, a 92-hour work week which would have been well over 100 had I not had one of the worst days of my life, tied and related to this man, as I tried to process how he could have made that choice. How he could have made that choice in these circumstances. Again, sealing the deal that we are done, but further convoluted by the fact that the majority of this home is owned by him. And I also learned that I had hurricane coverage but not flood coverage. I don't really know what that means, but all I know is that by the end of the week, I fell into the fear. I didn't want to believe that this storm could be that big. I didn't want to believe that it was going to hit Sarasota, which seems to miss all the storms, no matter what their projected track is. I didn't want to believe it, and by Friday, I was panicked and scared and hurt and so many emotions. I didn't care about the house. I truly didn't care. I cared about all the things in this house, my artistic creations, my writing creations. I absolutely cared that I couldn't secure those more. That's what those are unique. Those can't be replaced per se. Certainly not as they were the paintings I have throughout everywhere in the house. All sorts of projects in progress, writing projects, brainstorming projects. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care about any of these material possessions. I don't even really care about the structure, but I am in essentially tremendous debt to my now ex because he owns the home. So I was panicked that if the worst happened and I didn't have proper coverage, that I could be owing this man money for the rest of my life. Whereas at present, the rough plan, which is very rough, was that I was simply going to give myself some time, since my name's the only one on the deed. He didn't want his name on the deed. He doesn't want any responsibility, yet he wants to come in and control everything. And then trying to navigate and play that game of both has been killing me. Truly killing me and my spirit and my soul. So the breakup, interestingly, the horrible, horrible breakup this time actually happened 2 days before I went out of town, which was horrible in and of itself. I was only home for 5 days from the previous full week in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So it's like there's just so many things coming to the surface right now. First and foremost, traveling like this gives me no time and no ability to manage my life here, good or bad. And when it goes bad, it is almost impossible to grab a hold of how quickly things go spiraling down when you're not physically here to address the hub of where everything is physically going down. So that in an attempt to prevent it from going down, try to just hold steady and slowly build back up. These cats are still a wreck from this hurricane. I don't have power. The house, thankfully, my brother came through and did try to grab a number of those irreplaceable things and at least put them in plastic bags in case the worst had happened. And for that, I am grateful. I hate that I even feel anything less than gratitude to him for that. But coming home after a 92-hour work week, a huge emotional drain with the storm, and a 15-hour day in the car to ensure that I got home to a house that basically looked like a tornado went through it. You know, I mean, it just, everything, what was left on the wall was crooked. Most everything wasn't on the wall. Furniture moved. Stuff from outside was inside, so there's dirt. Cats don't know which. The cats have been moved to 2 places throughout the storm. They're back, but nothing looks or feels the same. And I felt it when I came in the door. And I leave on Tuesday for another full week, another 75-hour week back in Chattanooga. And I've had no real rest. My house is 87 degrees most of the day yesterday. I can't really clean up here. It's 83 degrees in here now, first thing in the morning. I haven't had the energy. It's unbelievable. And really, all I've been trying to do is the bare minimum. Keep a minimum charge on my phone, because that is my only link. I don't have a landline. Well, if I had a landline, it probably wouldn't be working. But I didn't even have flashlights loaded. I have candles, tons of candles, tons of incense. So at least it smelled kind of good in here, and it's got a little bit of light. Although I haven't even wanted to take the effort to light all the candles, because it's just been overwhelming. And it was barely a hurricane for us here. The whole, I would imagine by this time there's only probably 20% of us in town maybe that don't have power. But this is tough. And per normal for the character of Alyson, I beat myself up when I feel these things, because I know how lucky we are. I know how much worse people have it right now as a result of this storm, as a result of Harvey, as a result of life all throughout our state, all throughout our country, and mostly throughout the rest of the world, in terms of what feels to us to be tremendous suffering and torturous, because all of our gimmicks and gadgets and luxuries have been taken away. And I tend to try, and then I feel even more guilty and upset at myself, rather than be gentle with myself and recognize, yeah, you have a right to feel about these things. You have a right to be grateful to your brother, but also to be like, damn, I didn't really buy into the hype of how big it was going to be. My gut never told me it was going to be that big. I should have just had the cats be worried about it. I shouldn't have had him take precautions in the house. I mean, I'm allowed to go through that back and forth. In the end, it was likely the best thing for me and meant everything to have him do what he did. But I'm allowed to feel overwhelmed when I come back at a time where I just need to feel secure and safe and loved and supported. And the only place I've been able to really feel those things and create those things is for myself in this home, in this space, the energy and what I've done and who I've become in the privacy of this space over the past almost 5 years now, over 4.5 years. And to come home and not have that space be the space I left, well, it's not bad. You can't say it's bad. I just had to accept it, but it was so much to accept. And then going out the next day and looking at all the outside work that had to be done. Again, grateful. 2 pretty darn good sized branches, one in particular, inches from my house in the backyard. Inches. Like it's a miracle. How many people I've seen, the guy across the street, beautiful tree, one of his beautiful yellow jacaranda type trees, beautiful, fell completely down and just missed the power line to one side, missed his house on the other side, and just fell almost like, you could tell she almost just gently fell straight forward, almost like a bowing to the storm, to the greater energies swirling, literally, metaphorically, around. So I had a suitcase full of incredibly stinky laundry from working the race, and I ended up being able to do that at a friend's home, a friend of my brother, really. And that was the first day back. So Panera finally opened and had its Wi-Fi. That's always been one of my favorite places when I'm in my world of work and in that flow. Other than working here, writing and creating here, I very much enjoy going to Panera. I love the vibe, especially of this one really close to my house. They were up and running 2 days ago. So Friday, I started to feel a little relief within myself and in my situation. But now I can feel the panic starting to arise a little bit. Have a lot to do the next couple of days to get ready to leave. I don't know how I'm going to do it because the simplest things, trying to find a place to do laundry, because I didn't do it all the other day, just did some bare essentials to get me through the week. Like simple things, hopping online and checking all my bills and my business stuff online, doing laundry, just cleaning the house, packing, even taking a shower. It's without light, like it's unbelievable what this has done in terms of just bringing a focus bare minimum. And all I've managed to really do, I did a fair amount of cleanup of the yard, not the backyard. I got all the big stuff, but I easily could have 2 hours left in that backyard. But I got the front yard done and I got it mowed a couple days ago, Thursday. But it could still be edged. It doesn't, but just don't have the energy. All I've been trying to do is focus on being here for these kitties because I know my presence. And if I can keep calm, which I haven't done a good job doing with a couple of phone calls that I have had in the past week, less than a week, it helps them. Being here, I can't be away from them when I'm about to leave these poor things again for a week. And yes, they have a great young woman who cared for them during the storm, who cared for them exactly as I would. There was no way she was going to let them ride out that storm by themselves here. Sarah takes great care of them. But my leaving, coming and going disrupts these guys. And I keep saying, I just got to make it through this contract. And I do. But it has been a very tough year on them and on me. Because B and I were separated from when he left January 19th. And I didn't see him till Memorial Day. And then we did do the wise thing and take it sort of slow when we reconnected. And then I'm not going to go into that tangent, but let's just say the majority of this year has been alone. And me with these cats and me in the house, and all of it is a lot to handle when you're on the road, a minimum 12 plus full weeks, and then another 13 weeks with my local week-long race I work, and then another half dozen weekends. So it's been a lot. But I was committed to those things when I truly believed I was still going to have a partner, a significant other, somebody that I was building a home with who would be here to hold down the home front while I'm trying to take advantage of opportunities that are taking me closer to this grand vision that I've been working towards, this master plan that I've been trying to sort of follow, staying well beyond me since I left Seattle just over 5 years ago. And anyway, it's been very challenging, but we're going to keep it in perspective, and we're going to try to remember, we are going to remember that our focus is everything. Our focus is everything. Where we place our focus. So I keep saying aloud to the kiddies, we're going to be all right. We're going to make our way through. It's not going to be ideal for them or for me in these next couple of months. We got 9 weeks. 9 weeks from Tuesday, I'll be back from my final Ironman. 9 weeks we've got, guys. 9 weeks. And in the meantime, we're going to take every bit of energy that we can when we're here during those, well, we're only here a couple of weeks during those 9 weeks, I think 3. And we're going to get a different energy flowing. You guys want to go out there? You want to go out? Maybe that you're going to chase some squirrels? Peanut, do not go up that tree.